Hello, this is Oded Hadas from Tracepan Communications, and today's video will be about delivery and troubleshooting of services. This is an introduction to a series of videos on troubleshooting different types of service affecting issues, some which are related to the PON, some which are related to specific services, and all of these are services on the GPON. So before we go into troubleshooting of services, let's talk about the types of services that are typically delivered on the PON. And here is just a typical list. It can be voice, phone calls, internet browsing, emails, gaming, video conferencing, broadcast video, TV, and backhaul for mobile networks. I would say the last one is not exactly a service. It is more like a type of transmission or a type of application which GPON can be used for, or PON in general can be used for. Unlike all the others which connect directly to a customer or give service to a customer, this actually connects to cellular base station, and gives the backhaul services to the mobile network using the base station. Now, if we look at the requirements of these different services or different applications, we'll see that they have different requirements in several aspects. And if we take several parameters, let's look at the throughput, the delay, the jitter, and the packet loss rate. Take mobile backhaul. You can see that this is the most demanding one because it requires high throughput, very sensitive to delay, jitter, and packet loss. This is why very often a separate pod is used for mobile backhaul. It is not mixed with other services. Now, if we take the standard services which are delivered to a customer, take voice for example. In voice, the throughput is not very high, but it is sensitive to delay, jitter, and packet loss. This is something you'd easily notice in a voice call. If you take internet browsing, typically the throughput requirements are more than voice because you'd be downloading files and sending files. Delay and jitter are not that critical in these applications because if you get the page a little bit later, or if one page comes earlier, another page takes longer, it doesn't really matter for your experience. Packet loss does matter because if you lose packets, you'll be losing information. Video, TV requires more throughput, is more sensitive to, or is as sensitive as voice to jitter and packet loss. Delay is not that important because it's a one-side service, so if you get the service a few seconds later, it's not that critical. So as you can see, each service has different requirements in terms of these parameters. And GPON is ideal for delivering these services because it can make the distinction of quality of service. Now, let's look at the different services and think, okay, what might go wrong? And these are just some examples. Some of the things that go wrong are related to the PON, and some are totally not related to the PON, so they can happen on any media that delivers services. Examples of PON-related ones are insufficient bandwidth. Let's say the PON is congested in the downstream or the upstream, so you don't get the bandwidth you need for your service. Insufficient allocated bandwidth. In other words, there is enough bandwidth, but for some reason the OLT doesn't allocate enough bandwidth according to the required QoS. The service is not set up correctly. This is via a protocol called OMCI. In our GPON introduction, we spoke about it a little bit. A rogue ONU, which is an ONU that doesn't obey the time-slot assignments of the OLT. And these are just examples. Non-PON related, maybe congestion or packet loss, but not in the PON, in the backbone. Problems in the server, and depending on what the service is, it may be the IPTV server, the voice over IP switch, the internet server, and so on. Authentication problems with the customer side, for example, the set-top box, we're talking about IPTV, the gateway, even the customer's PC, and so on. And the main challenge for service providers, if something goes wrong, is to maintain customer satisfaction because it's critical for your business. Usually today's environments are competitive, so you must make your customers or keep your customers at least as happy as they are with competitors. The key is to identify the problem, find its root cause and solve it, and do all of this as soon as possible. And since there are many different factors that can affect the service and many different types of services, this is a big challenge. So if you look at how services are delivered on the PON, you have your backbone, you have your server behind the backbone. Then it goes to the PON, which has the OLT. It has the access network itself, the GPON. Then has the ONU or ONT, and then whatever is in the customer's equipment, in the customer's prem for delivering the service. As an example, for IPTV, you have the set-top box and the TV set. Now, if you have an issue, to determine where the issue comes from, whether it's PON related or not PON related, one of the key points that can help you with this is if you have visibility into the service and what it looks like in different points across the network. And as you can see here, you can have a point at the network side, at the OLT side of the PON, at the ONU side of the PON, and so on. We put here in this diagram GPON Tracer, which is an equipment provided by TracePan that can give you visibility on the PON. And then if you have access to the OLT side, and usually the OLT's management or some other tools you have in your central office give you this visibility, then with the visibility that you get to the fiber side of the OLT, you're actually seeing both sides of the OLT. So if something goes wrong, you can see what goes into the OLT on one end and what comes out on the other end, and determine if this is a problem with the OLT. In a similar way, if you have visibility to both ends of the ONU, you can isolate problems that are related to the ONU. What's also important is that if you look at these 2 points at both ends of the PON, you should actually see the same information with one significant difference. At the OLT side, you're seeing the information for all of the ONUs, all the customers, while at the ONU side, you're seeing the same information, but only for this specific customer. So the point is, if you have visibility to all these points, you have an ideal way to troubleshoot where the issue comes from. And we'll see more examples in the dedicated video clips about specific services. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more, you can go to our website, and there are some webinars there. If you'd like to learn more about a company, go to tracepan.com. You're welcome to contact us at info@tracepan.com. If you like this video, give us a like, and if you'd like, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch more. Thank you.